Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 5 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Philadelphia 76ers and Indiana Pacers. Tonight we're in for a lively matchup as the Indiana Pacers go head-to-head with the Philadelphia 76ers in an early season NBA clash. It's just the beginning of the long road to the playoffs, but the intensity is already cranked up. Philadelphia, though, is missing some serious firepower, most notably Joel Embiid and Paul George, who've both been crucial on both ends of the floor. Without them, the Sixers are left scrambling to find rhythm and balance. Currently, Philadelphia is putting up a modest 108 points per game, landing them near the league's bottom in scoring. Ball movement has been a struggle, with their assists hovering below 19 per game, which has stalled offensive flow. Defensively, they're hanging around the league average in steals, and their perimeter defense has been effective, ranking top 5 in guarding against the three. However, they're having real issues defending the paint, a critical weakness against a team with inside prowess like the Pacers. On the Pacers side, their shooting has been sharp. They're 4th in field goal percentage, showing strong shooting efficiency. But from beyond the arc, Indiana has been cold, and they'll need to find more consistency with their long-range shots. Defensively, they've shown flashes of transition stops and a solid perimeter defense, ranking among the top 5 in limiting opponents' three-point attempts. To capitalize tonight, Indiana will need to keep Philadelphia limited to single shots per possession and stay tight on the perimeter. Philadelphia recently hit the road against Toronto and fell short, losing by 8 points in a game they were expected to win. Embiid's absence was obvious. Without him, the Sixers were missing their defensive anchor and offensive catalyst. Despite having solid players, Philly's inconsistency without Embiid shows just how vital he is to their success. The Pacers didn't fare much better in their last outing, facing a rough loss to the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Tyrese Halliburton, one of Indiana's main playmakers, had an uncharacteristically poor night, going scoreless in 26 minutes, which contributed to a one-sided defeat. That game left a bitter taste, and Indiana will be fired up for a comeback performance tonight. Looking at tonight's matchup, Philadelphia's missing stars put them at a disadvantage. I'm backing the Pacers here. They'll come in with determination after that rough loss to the Knicks and capitalize on Philadelphia's struggles without Embiid. I expect Indiana to take advantage of their shooting efficiency and pull off a solid home win tonight. The second prediction for today is for a game between the New Orleans Pelicans and Portland Trail Blazers. The Portland Trail Blazers and New Orleans Pelicans are squaring off again in a quick rematch, part of the now popular home-and-home series. Just a couple of nights back, the Pelicans snatched a 105-103 win in a tight game in Portland. Now, the action shifts to New Orleans, where fans are eager to see what adjustments each team might make in this intriguing matchup. The Pelicans are putting up 114 points per game, landing them in the middle of the league rankings at 14th, shooting at 44.3% from the field and 37.7% from deep. New Orleans ranks 18th and 10th, respectively. On the defensive end, they've been solid, allowing only 107 points per game, the 5th lowest in the league. Opponents are being held to a field goal percentage of 44.9%, placing the Pelicans in the top 10 defensively, including a strong 7th place rank in three-point defense, holding teams to 32.4%. On the other hand, the Blazers are struggling offensively, with an average of just 103.5 points per game, second to last in the league. Shooting is a major issue, as they're hitting only 40.1% of their field goals and a mere 29.6% from behind the arc, ranking near the bottom in both categories. Defensively, Portland is allowing 122.5 points per game, ranking them in the league's bottom three, with opponents shooting at 46.9% overall and an impressive 40% from three-point range. In their last face-off, the Blazers came out strong, leading early, but the Pelicans rallied in the fourth quarter to steal the win. Jeremy Grant stood out with 34 points, and Anfernee Simons added 24, while rookie Scoot Henderson chipped in 15 off the bench, giving Portland some hope for the future. However, there were some struggles, particularly from Deni Avdija, who shot just 1 for 9, underscoring the need for more reliable support if Portland is to compete this season. For New Orleans, Zion Williamson's return added a spark, contributing a double-double despite some shooting struggles. I expect Williamson to find his rhythm in the rematch. However, the Pelicans still have to avoid playing down to their competition, a habit they've had against lower-ranked teams. In this rematch, quick adjustments will be challenging given the short turnaround. Often in these back-to-back games, we see similar results to the first meeting, with only minor differences. Portland will need more consistent scoring beyond Grant and Simons, while the Pelicans will likely aim to build a comfortable lead, ideally avoiding the late-game drama of their previous matchup. Comfortably considering the trends and recent performances, I believe a low-scoring game is likely. Portland's offense has struggled, and although I expect New Orleans to widen the gap this time, it'll likely still be a relatively moderate-paced game. Given the Pelicans' roster depth and the Blazers' offensive challenges, I'm backing New Orleans to cover the 6-point spread comfortably.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The third prediction for today is for a game between the Milwaukee Bucks and Brooklyn Nets. As the NBA season gets underway, tonight's matchup between the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks offers an early test of resilience for both teams. The Bucks, coming in at 1-1, are looking to shake off the sting of a tough home loss, while the Nets are hungry for their first win, having stumbled to a 0-2 start that exposed some weak spots. Milwaukee's season started with an emphatic road win over the Philadelphia 76ers, a game notably lacking Joel Embiid and Paul George. Despite the absences, the Bucks showed their firepower, taking full advantage and running away with a convincing win. However, their next home game didn't follow the script. Facing the Chicago Bulls as heavy favorites, the Bucks faltered badly, giving up 133 points in a surprising loss where they simply couldn't contain Chicago's offense. Giannis Antetokounmpo still shone, pouring in 38 points with Damian Lillard adding 28, but the rest of the roster provided little support. Taurean Prince chipped in 11 points, while Brook Lopez and Trent combined for just 17. Milwaukee's defensive issues were glaring, especially in the second half, where they struggled to contain Chicago's pace. Without Drew Holiday's defensive tenacity, which they lost in the offseason, early concerns about Milwaukee's ability to lock down opponents have cropped up. On offense, the Bucks are still potent, shooting 51.4% from the floor and averaging 122 points per game, which gives them an edge in shootouts. However, relying solely on firepower without defensive intensity is risky, especially against a Nets team that's eager to exploit any cracks in the Bucks' armor. Brooklyn, meanwhile, is aiming to get on the board after a winless start, with losses to the Orlando Magic and Atlanta Hawks revealing their own shortcomings. Both games saw the Nets struggle to maintain momentum in key quarters, particularly in the second halves. Cam Thomas has been a standout, carrying much of the scoring load and giving Brooklyn a fighting chance. Yet beyond Thomas, the Nets lack consistent offensive threats. Dennis Schroeder added 20 points against Orlando, but as a seasoned role player, he's not quite the second option the team needs to pose a serious challenge consistently. A toward given Milwaukee's recent defensive lapses and Brooklyn's determination to avoid a 0-3 start, this one could turn into a high-scoring shootout. The Bucks have shown they can score, but unless they tighten up on defense, they risk keeping Brooklyn closer than expected. And while the Bucks may be the better team on paper, this being Brooklyn's home opener could inject some extra energy into the Nets. I'm leaning towards the Nets to cover the spread here. With Milwaukee's defense still trying to find its footing, I think Brooklyn has the drive to keep this one within striking distance. A double-digit spread seems too steep, and I expect the Nets to make this one competitive. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Atlanta Hawks and Oklahoma City Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder are set to challenge the Atlanta Hawks this Sunday in a clash that promises to be fast-paced and high-scoring. Coming off a tough road game against the Chicago Bulls on Saturday, the Thunder have little time to recover before taking on an Atlanta squad that's not only rested but also riding the momentum of a 2-0 season start. Atlanta's offense has shown early firepower, though they haven't yet covered the spread in their opening games, a factor they'll likely be eager to address in this matchup. Atlanta's offensive game has been fueled by none other than Trae Young, who has looked dominant with his scoring and playmaking. In their recent 125-120 victory over the Charlotte Hornets, Young exploded for 38 points and dished out 10 assists, effectively steering the Hawks' attack. DeAndre Hunter contributed a reliable 24 points, while Dyson Daniels added 18 points with an impressive 8 of 10 shooting, hinting that he might become a consistent scoring threat this season. With over 120 points scored in each of their first 2 games, Atlanta is on a roll offensively and will look to maintain this rhythm, particularly against a Thunder team that tends to give up points when playing high-tempo teams. For Oklahoma City, the challenge of playing on consecutive nights can often stretch their stamina, especially on the road. While they've shown resilience at home in these back-to-back scenarios, an away game against a fresh Atlanta team will test their young core's ability to handle the quick turnaround. Yet, with an offensive system built around pace and high-energy transitions, the Thunder aren't likely to slow down. Even with the wear from their game against the Bulls, they'll push the tempo, leaning on their fast-paced offense to keep Atlanta on their toes. Historically, these two teams have produced scoring showcases whenever they've met on the court. Last season's matchup saw both games blast past projected totals, with one game ending in a thrilling 141-138 win for the Hawks. With Atlanta's firepower on one side and OKC's commitment to fast breaks and quick scoring on the other, this matchup has all the makings of another high-scoring shootout. Both teams have shown a tendency to lean into their offensive strengths, which sets the stage for an electrifying game. Considering Atlanta's fresher legs and OKC's likely fatigue from consecutive road games, I expect the Hawks to come out strong and ultimately cover the 10-point spread. This game should be a crowd pleaser, with both teams pushing the pace and taking every opportunity to rack up points. With Trae Young playing at an elite level and Atlanta in sync defensively, I'm confident the Hawks will meet the spread in what should be a thrilling, action-packed contest that keeps fans on the edge of their seats. I'm taking the Hawks to cover the 10-point spread in this most likely high-scoring contest. The fifth prediction for today is for a game between the Los Angeles Clippers and Golden State Warriors. Tonight, I'm looking forward to seeing the Golden State Warriors in their home opener against the Los Angeles Clippers. Fresh off a 2-0 start on the road, Golden State has displayed that road warrior mentality, handling the Portland Trail Blazers and Utah Jazz with ease. They dismantled Portland by 36 points and sailed past Utah with a commanding 127-86 scoreline. But both opponents are in rebuild mode, so tonight's matchup with the Clippers feels like the Warriors' first real test of the season. The Chase Center hasn't always been a fortress for Golden State. Interestingly, they've thrived more on the road, using the road environment to their advantage. But tonight, they need to bring that same intensity to their home court if they want to keep their early momentum rolling. The Warriors, still adjusting to life without Klay Thompson, are shifting the offensive focus onto Steph Curry. Curry scored 20 points against Utah and, despite an off night from beyond the arc, created opportunities for his teammates, allowing Buddy Hield to lead with 27 points. Rookie Jackson Davis also showed up with a solid 12-point performance, adding some much-needed depth. The Clippers, meanwhile, are adapting without Kawhi Leonard. James Harden made a strong debut with 29 points, supported by Ivica Zubac's 21 and Derek Jones Jr.'s 12. Harden's offensive presence is pivotal, especially with Leonard sidelined. However, the Clippers' bench depth is a concern, and this being their second game in as many days, they'll be put to the test against a well-rested Warriors team. This game represents more than just another matchup. It's Golden State's chance to validate their hot start and the Clippers' opportunity to find their stride without Leonard. The Warriors' defense will need to hold against the scoring punch of Harden and Powell, both of whom have shown they can get hot quickly. If the Clippers can lock down the Warriors' perimeter shooters and limit Curry's influence, they stand a good chance of making things tough for Golden State. Despite the Warriors' firepower, they've shown occasional inconsistencies with their three-point shooting, which the Clippers can exploit. The Clippers' defensive versatility will be key to containing Curry and pushing Golden State into tougher shots. Given all factors, I believe this will be a tight contest. The Warriors should be able to pull off the win at home, but I expect the Clippers to keep it close enough to cover the spread.